was a hot commodity in terms of what he was going to bring to the table with his team initially there, but wound up going to Kangarna, then wound up going briefly to Goats, and we just haven't seen his true form, I think, is what it really comes down to. And I think once he shows out, you're really going to see a really, really impactful player that can really shine next to another guy like Saucy that obviously has already made a name for himself in this tournament. But give eSire the time, and I think he will show his true potential. I think there's a lot on the table for him here, and it's his moment right now. It has to be.
One thing I do remember about eSire is that he was a player that was very close to getting onto a whole bunch of Contenders teams earlier in the year when you had that first row of teams being made. Didn't quite make it in the end, but he's definitely in the conversation even as back as earlier in the year. But he's going to be coming out here on the Pharah, and this is Shield Breaking 101.
Yeah, and they're going to bring out Saucy on the Junkrat as well, so they're just going to really try to suppress that shield as much as possible. Nomi's not going to have a lot of opportunities to reset, and that's going to force rotations. And if it forces bad rotations from Goats, they can really take advantage of that with eSire getting a little bit more aggressive with his positioning to follow up.
Ooh, eSire boosting right into that rooftop tile there. Not exactly ideal. Haku going to fall early on, and Second Wind not really getting a whole lot of momentum here. Luckily, you do have the Mercy for the quick res. They won't lose a whole lot of time, but so far the pressure on the shield hasn't been quite enough. They're going to get down the shield, but Second Wind is a little bit discombobulated here. It's a bit of pressure, but you look at the defense, they're not really taking much of the poke damage. They're totally fine with where the situation is, and Akawa lucky not to get picked off there as he went awfully low.
Really just playing quite timid. They're just trying to break down that shield, and that's going to be Boostio pulling out an ultimate himself.
Attack visor up, but he pulled the attack visor right in the middle of a diva, and that's usually not the most ideal situation. Naga does get res back up. Both teams running Mercies again, maybe going back a little bit in time here to ye old Moth meta, but here's a tire from Naga, moving on forward. Use it on Fried, but there's no fall through there. Fried's actually going to get not entirely healed back up. Fall through does finally come in. Naga being his own follow through off the nano boost. Get your JLKEs ready in chat because Naga has pulled this back with Junkrat.
However, you know, maybe it's perhaps too little too late. The payload is already unlocked. They got that first point already, and now it's just about trying to push into the spawn as much as possible where you can find a lot of value because you can get that reset. I mean, Reinforce was talking about it yesterday. It's such a good spot for you to hold aggressively as a defense and really get a lot of value out of forcing them to play back onto the payload and holding that corner, which is a natural choke point for them.
Yeah, it was a kind of an unfortunate element there where it's like, all right, I'm still alive, I've gotten pick. I was like, but you've lost the point. So not quite as ideal. The Junkrat time is over, but the Genji time is here. Still a very quick time, though, being set by Second Wind.
Going forward, I mean, we already mentioned eSire and his need to have an impact and really show out alongside Saucy. And I think this is a good moment for him on the Genji with the Blade. This is your moment to be flashy. This is your moment to embed yourself in everybody's minds with the Nano Boost to start things off.
eSire chasing over, but still fine. Dash up, finds Boostio. Looking for Genji, deflecting core, but oh! Gotta look to the sky. Who he self-destruct. Gonna grab two, and Goats not only deal with the pressure coming in from Genji, but they do get to reestablish, which is pretty helpful given where the economy situation was.
Coming off a little cold, eSire, but I still believe, you know, I still believe he has that potential. I think it's just untapped at the moment. He's going to come in and really have an impact, but Naga is going to give him a run.
Do you really believe, or are you just trying to cast the curse?
It's
hard to tell. It's like, are you being malicious right now with the belief? Like, I'm just letting you know. But they are able to find Boostio early on. eSire still quite a ways away from a Blade. 5-on-5 right now. Second Wind and drop the self-destruct going back. Wavy falls. Second Wind now going in, but okay, here comes Naga. Nano Blade out right to the back. Both supports immediately down.
And mechanically, I mean, he's just so impressive, but he's just being shown out by guys like Naga in a lot of these matchups where, I mean, Naga has been super solid throughout the entirety of the day, and especially alongside Boostio, where they've been able to connect a lot of times and playing into this GT dive that we've been seeing a little bit of today. And off the back of the Ana as well. There's a lot of setup that allows them to be more aggressive, and Naga is just taking advantage of that.
Second wind, creeping on up here. Self-destruct though again, out from Hui. Get some cover. They do get out of the way just in time, but they do have to back out. Meanwhile, I look towards Izar. He's been hyping him up here. Heurix has been saying that he's about to do well. Has a man advantage here. Has a Dragon Blade. Could have a Nano Boost. This is the time to shine. Goes up, looks for the Mercy, pulls out the blade, dashes on forward, reflects the sleep. Nice stuff. Ana gonna go, goes over, gets Boostio, finishes off. Good job by Izar.
All right, he gets it done, but still at 1 HP, somehow is able to survive, and Karkar finishes the job onto Naga, so they clean things up. Not a lot of time to get through this second phase, though, of Streets, as Naga needs to get this blade online. Wavy up at 77%. They need this combo to just cut through. However, EMP ready from Saucy. You're already mentioning how consistent he was throughout the day and what a standout player he was on the Sombra. Well, here it is, the opportunity to drop the EMP of a lifetime.
Saucy waiting for that EMP, right back towards the payload, drops it, and they're just getting used to deal the D.Va immediately. Put Hui in a bad spot, finish him on off, as Fried goes in for a little bit extra follow through, and that more than enough for second wind here on point B. They get the point, and now they get to finish off the Genji at the very end as well.
That's a hashtag good enough right there. Not only does it allow them to take down the D.Va, but honestly, I mean, just it wins the fight off of that, just clearly off the momentum. Not exactly the best positional setups that we saw there, of course, from Goats, but nonetheless, coming back into this next fight, Naga's going to have his blade. Soon enough, they'll have the Nano Boost in tandem, so look for that combination to see if Naga can show out a little bit more than Izar was able to in his 2 attempts so far.
Winston pressure coming in from Akawa, goes in, gets slept, but immediately woken up. It was a short nap, but he's still gonna fall. The damage there. Naga now looking back the other way. They've gotten the Winston down early though, so it's not a situation where you really want to invest more, because you don't have to. And oh boy, they've isolated out to the side, looking for one more staggered pickoff. Goats for now holding, and they have just about everything up.
So we might have a battle of the blades here between these two teams, and we'll see them just jumping in same time for both.
Dragon Blade's out on both ends. Izar the only one to draw blood here so far. Tensa can be the one to fall, but Goats trying to make it even so far. They have both teams trading out, and the offense decides, you know, we want a little bit more. We're going to invest the barrier. Karkar going to use it. Not that much happening immediately from it, but you get the D.Va. It's still decent. This is going to be enough space to get some payload progress.
So I'm going to come to the defense of Naga and Izar here. With this Genji Blade, there's not really a lot of great targets to go for those instant kills. They have the ability to instantly rotate out. They have the boops to displace. I mean, there's a lot of people on this team, on both sides actually, that have a lot of mobility, so they can disengage from these. So it's very hard to have those big 5K blades.
We got flashbang back and forth here. Naga down. And you take a look at second wind. Now, starting to apply a little bit more pressure. Goats looking for a really long flank here as Boostio coming in way off the backhand side. Self-destruct, gonna find Haku. And Goats now, this is where Tracer can thrive. Putting a lot of pressure on the Izar. Tracer versus McCree, a matchup that could go either way depending on the situation. Now Boostio just cleaning up as Goats comes in through the front. Final 23 seconds left.
And they're going to be able to take down Fried. And I believe that he's going to be going for the pulse bomb. Yeah, he does indeed, but not going to find any value in the spawn. Boostio coming away. We're certainly going to be seeing Naga getting aggressive here. And there is a little bit more of an opportunity for him to find value with this blade. As
Talk for Naga.
Yeah.
Moves in, blade up, gets stunned. Barrier though, gives him a little bit of flex. Pushes people back. Ends up falling, but you gotta look back to the payload. The team is split because they need the force overtime. Nomi gets a roll on back. More even than the defense with Viper. Now Kala finishes off Hui. Gets slept on the point. Still plenty of HP. Izar coming in for some cleanup. Offense with an opportunity here. Flashbang out. Doesn't quite finish things off here. But second wind's in a great spot. The defense is getting rolled over here in overtime.
And it's off the back of Izar making some clutch plays, shutting down a Tracer initially, and then continuing that push. Now it's all about shutting down these respawns. They have to be consistent, get these kills closely. I mean, they have to be really, really closely together so that they can force this respawn to go out.
Barrier in from second wind, moving on over. Izar, again, using the flashbang towards the Hammond, trying to save. Oh, no, no, he can't roll back over in time. That Deadeye doesn't count, by the way.
It doesn't.
It's like, yeah, okay, quadruple kill.
But it would have counted. It would have counted.
It was after they, yeah, after they got in. So they do finish out. No time left on the clock, but still better than the alternative. Now we have to turn the corner and see just what the GOATs are going to do on their attack.
I'm looking at GOATs right now. I'm looking at ways to really kind of play into my tanks at the moment and making sure that they can play as aggressively as possible, taking space, being aggressive towards Boostio and Naga, because when you give space to guys like Boostio and Naga, that's going to create a lot of problems. I think playing for that intel that they're going to go for right now with Saucy still playing on that Sombra. We already talked about how good he's been in that role. Now just give room for eZire to have that same potential to be unlocked. Again, I still believe. And
why do you hate eZire this much? Like,
I don't hate him.
You're killing him with love right now.
If I start saying that I don't like eZire, he'll start performing to his potential.
Yes.
And what he can do, and I know he can do.
Yes,
I just can't do that.
That's how the world works. That's how the world works.
I cannot be negative to eZire. Just can't. I just can't do it. I've seen what he can do already. I've seen it when he was, playing with Kingarna a couple of times there. I've seen it in the past. I know what he's capable of. And I think that maybe we're giving a little bit too hard of a time. I can do his defense already, right? On the Genji thing. It's so hard to find the blades in that position.
Let me be clear. He feeds first here, your fault. So I'm going to watch eZire intently here. Let's hope that things go well, all right? See how it goes.
All right. Oh, they're going to make some adjustments here, actually, ZP. So we're going to see instantly going for the anti. I mean, yeah, the McCree camp is exactly what you want to do to deal with eZire. So maybe it's not my fault anymore if something doesn't work out for them.
You just try. You try and wiggle off the hook. That's totally fine. Moves on in. Decent damage to Winston. Nomi gonna fall. eZire able to get his way out of trouble. So, but the problem is the rest of the team falling early on, fried out of it. So you've lost your diva, but it's just good tank control coming in from eZire. Hasn't gone into the back line here yet. At some point, as Doomfist, you gotta make that call. The pressure coming in pretty heavily. Gotta work around Boostio. Winston back in. Winston back down. Punched right in the mouth. eZire diving on in. Immediately gets Boostio. Getting exactly what he wants. So, no, things are going pretty well for eZire in the end. Who knew?
Who knew? I did. I knew. I said that. That was me. That was me throughout. eZire gets it done.
You didn't have faith. You were trying to curse him the entire time.
No way. eZire coming through on the Doomfist. Big plays from him to shut that down and also ward off Nomi in a lot of those situations, which opens things up in such a big way for their team to find those opportunities to execute a dive and to disconnect and pull out cooldowns. That's huge. And he's going to do that time and time again. You can see that line up.
EMP coming out there from Saucy as eZire more than willing to come on in, dive over, take advantage. 2 early pickoffs here for second wind, and this is getting a little bit ugly here for the GOATs where this was their map choice and they're down to their final 2 minutes and an attack that so far has not borne fruit.
I wonder if chat can hear eZire say.
Yes, they can. and they say
eZire gets the job done, ZP. You're a hater. I've got his back the whole way through.
No, I just don't want to curse him with Caster Curse. Unlike you, where you've tried your hardest to ruin his dreams. Calamo picked off early. eZire needs to back out 1 HP and down. Now we got to finish him. Not going to let him live the dream. 2 pickoffs here from the GOATs. And they say the GOATs have likely grabbed point A.
Now, there's really not too much of an opportunity to contest, but they're going to go for it anyways. Car jumping through. Also a nice biotic to set things up as well.
Boostio, well armored. Armor going to go away. Self-destruct on the point. Fried trying to buy a little bit of room. GOATs needing to invest the barrier here. eZire punches Boostio to the side. Meteor Strike up and over. You see second wind having a real chance of getting back in on this point. Boostio dead. eZire back in. Knocks down Wavy, and second wind, true to their name, have gotten back in after being way down. And eZire just starts spamming, and they say.
They say indeed, but second wind coming away with another solid defense here after finishing out their attack. 45 seconds left, pretty much nothing at the disposal of GOATs as they're going forward, and Boostio has to be the linchpin here. He has to be able to coincide with Naga and find some way for this DPS duo to come together and shut down eZire or Saucy. They just can't get it done yet. Onto Saucy, he pulls away from the fight.
super aggressive Transcendence coming out there from second win. They didn't like the way that was developing. They thought could go bad. Fried though, under pressure. Discord Orb, demeched immediately. Goats moving their way back in. It's more of Desire. Punishes Nomi. He's been doing work around the outskirts. Close to another Meteor Strike. Moves on in, jumps to the sky. Time to be best push of Meteorite. Slams Boostio right on down. Looking for the Zen. Desire going back to the other side. And second win just about there. It's do or die now for the Goats. And right now, they're choosing the latter option. Desire just easily dispatches Wavy. And they say, second win has won map 1 over the Goats.
Already getting things heated up here. Second win on top of things. And eSire now fired up. Not just warmed up, but I'm saying fired up. Big plays, of course, coming out from him on the Doomfist. Looking forward to seeing more of that. I mean, he had some good. I think we were being a little bit too negative in the beginning, where he was stepping up, and we're gonna take the spotlight away from him because I think we've focused a lot of our attention on eSire memes at this stage, and we're going to go ahead and redirect that focus onto what exactly is happening into this matchup, ZP.
Your attempt to curse eSire failed. Who is your next target to see if they haven't bought the best protective charms?
It's about belief, ZP. It really is. And I'm not even joking around too. I mean, we have seen a lot of these players before, not necessarily with these teams. This is obviously a lot of new rosters and everything. We've seen what they're capable of in the past. I didn't get to see a lot of what happened yesterday. I did go over a lot of the matches in my time off, given the fact that I've just been super busy this weekend. This has been a very busy weekend for everybody. But, in what I saw, eSire wasn't really playing to what I've seen him do and accomplish in the past. And now I think he's really kind of warmed up, stepped things up in a big way. And I think we're finally seeing that. But again, to take the spotlight away now, because I think this is turning into a situation where we're focusing way too much attention on it. That did not need to happen at all. But I'll take the blame on that one. Goats now down 0-1. Second win with a great start. They're already up with a dominant performance on Hollywood. They looked good doing it. And not just that, but they had great adaptation. They had great play. Saucy came through as well on the Sombra. The setup was there time and time again. I think, if you're talking about synergy, if you're talking about cohesion, second win has things clicking in their favor. Goats, while we did see them going up against an NRG team that maybe looked not as experienced together as a full roster, Goats is looking like maybe they're perhaps that team in this particular matchup.
Yeah, and the key thing here, too, is that Goats, they just lost on their map that they wanted here. Now they have to go to their second option. And again, bear in mind, we're still in the BO3 setup, right, where essentially Goats is on their final tournament life. Now, historically, they've thrived on that, but it was also a different team. And second wind, if they could get max performance out of their players, where, again, we kind of set up to the prelude, and, no, not just eSire, but overall is that you look back at their day one play, it was sort of hit or miss on a lot of their players, depending on the situation. But throughout most of Hollywood there, it was certainly more in the hit spectrum. So they could continue to be that consistent. It's not only going to be scary for the Goats, who will likely lose the series. It's going to be scary for phase 2, despite however amount of big brain plays that Michael has in the background. So it's definitely going to be curious to see it develop, but it does look like the Goats' second option is going to be Lijiang Tower.
And that's what they picked last time too. And it wound up actually, it was actually NRG eSports who wound up going to Lijiang Tower. And that's a map where they look very solid on. So this is, I believe, the third time that we've seen them now on it. And so far, they've done nothing but lose. So it's an interesting choice for them to come out and pick Lijiang Tower.
It's fine. We've randomly gone back into Hollywood.
And I love that Karkar just said, hey, that ain't it, Chief. that ain't it at all. And he's exactly right. That just ain't it. Lijiang Tower.
I gotta say, I didn't expect Karkar to be someone who would use the term chief. Like, I feel like it's a very specific type of person who uses the word chief. It's like it's sort of one of those weird condescending words, like that ain't it, Chief. It's similar to the I don't know what you're doing there, bud.
I feel like it's just like actually, a Twitter thing, right? I mean, I feel like it's definitely like a very Twitter-heavy thing, right?
I don't know why. It just feels like so snarky and condescending. I don't know if it's as bad as Bud. Bud is one of those things where it's just like, listen, buddy. Or no. The worst is, although overplayed, is kid. It's like, okay, look, kid. And it's just like, what? You've really gone there. You've gone to that level of online, observation. All right. Well, we're going to step away from that, though. our teams are setting up here. And we do have quite a bit of a difference between the two, where we're going to have one team running the Pharah. It's going to be Goats taken to the skies. Meanwhile, we look to the other end, and not quite sure what we're going to see here, but it does look like it's going to be McCree.
That looks like it is going to be the case, and we will see Fried dropping that Doomfist more than likely for the Diva, I have to imagine. And in the meantime, Naga taking to the sky, Boostio on the floor. That's a good combination. That's one that I really like. I mean, that takes me back. I mean, you saw that a long time ago. This is a composition you would have expected to see, what, back in like maybe early 2017 or something like that, perhaps. This is a solid combo that I really like seeing DPSs pull out, is that Tracer alongside the Pharah to clean up a lot of these direct hits that come from the Pharah.
The thing here is that it's going to require Naga to do quite a bit here on the Pharah. Boostio is more than willing to clean up anyone that gets damaged. You just have to get that early pressure. Kawa almost falling. The Rockets were setting it up. Boostio almost knocking it down. Goats, for now, controlling the space closer to the point. And for running something a little bit tank heavy, Second Wind at some point needs to get out of this house. Usually have for protection from the Pharah, but you need to go to a point, but they isolate Nomi. They pick their moment, they turn on out, they isolate Nomi using the Brigida, and now both front lines are down. Naga, you might have an early barrage, but you get two. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to turn the fight. Going over, looking for Lucio. Karkar gonna fall, and it is enough to turn the fight.
The sustain too, to help Naga sustain in that fight. I mean, stay alive. That's what we're looking for. Good stuff from Tensa. Remember, there's not a lot of ability for, or opportunity rather, for Mercy players, or some of these people that play in these positions to show out. And that's one of those things where you can see that quick adaptation, that quick redirect to put Tensa back up into the sky and get that support out. That's huge to allow Naga to make that kind of play.
And of course, this is where Pharah loves being, where you have the defensive advantage, you have the greatest position for the Pharahs, but early barrier coming out. Both teams going to drop the beat. The beat, though, not hitting everyone on the Goat side. It's done more in reaction. It's not enough to save Nomi. Nomi isolated down from the Discord Orb. Saucy out, but you see Akawa getting a lot of value off the dive. And he has the Primal Rage still in reserve. Doesn't even use it here. Just moving forward on cleanup. A Second Wind is just going to rotate this right back over to the point.
Self-Destruct's going to cut them off as well. Now force out Haku to pop the Transcendence just to keep everybody alive. And that's going to be another barrage from Naga.
Naga goes for the barrage, but doesn't get anything. The Deadeye shuts it on down. Second Wind, though, not only have they retaken the point, but they're drawing Goats into this long, protracted fight that they're not even necessarily going to win. Now, that pick off from Boostio helps. To the side, looking for the Lucio. He's going to just wall ride his way around, being a huge pain. Boostio, unable to finish him here just yet. His car, he gets to the health pack. No! Stolen by Boostio. Big steals.
Big brain plays there to shut that down, as well as they're now going to go forward, and they should be able to get this the flip here on the point, as Boostio is just looking to control this 1v1 against Haku, who's kind of stuck on the side. In the meantime, he's just buying time for Naga to make the plays, but talking about time, certainly in favor of Second Wind, as they're just contesting this for as long as they possibly can to get that score ever higher.
Alrighty, so back and forth the game is so far, even 50 to 57%. Boostio again just cleaning up here in the point, and that's going to be enough for the Goats to retake. We do see the offense here, a little bit of change up. Izar on the Tracer. It's Aussie Soldier 76. Let's go.
That's not what I expected, and it wouldn't be the first time we've seen a double hit scan, if you want to call this that, in this tournament. But Soldier 76 is not often the hit scan that you would expect in this particular situation. Nonetheless, they're going to pull it out to put some pressure onto Naga for sure.
Barry out early here for Second Wind. Nomi isolated again. That's been the game plan here for Second Wind. But Naga, you gotta look out for him off the flank. Barrage finds Saucy, and Hui puts the exclamation point on top. The self-destruct gonna do two. And Goats, less than a fight away here of taking the map, and Boostio almost drops himself into the pit.
All of a sudden, this map pick starts making a lot of sense, right? I mean, they haven't really been super consistent on this map so far. Oh, almost shuts down the entrance back into the point through window as well.
Fried gonna give up his life here, moving onto point. Enemy number one getting demeched. Drops a self-destruct, because why not, but taking down his baby. Still finds Wavy. Ezire onto the point now on Tracer. Again, trying to buy time, but Boostio too consistent on the flank. It's Boostio and Naga just simply cleaning people up. A little bit less delay here from Akawa, but it's likely going to amount to naught as the Goats take round 1.
This is a good map for Goats too. I mean, playing into Naga's ability to really get good use out of the Pharah pick, and then playing with the Tracer to find value with the cleanup as well. So good stuff from them. I would expect some swaps here on Night Market, and this is going to be a big change up as well, where we're probably going to see a lot of that Reinhardt v Reinhardt pinned together, or pinned against each other rather. Real question is, what supports are we going to get? Because right now we're seeing Wavy on the Ana, and we're seeing Haku on the Zen, and we obviously know the differences between those. Catch you up if you don't. Obviously, the Ana does provide a lot more healing, a lot more consistent healing. Of course, with the Biotic also being a big amount of value for her toolkit. However, on the other side of things, Zenyatta gonna really offer up the potential for those one-shot kills off the back of some connection through Ezire's ability to stun lock, or help to stun lock, create an opening onto Nomi on this tank.
Second win, though, not going to waste any time immediately using Lucio to boost onto the point. And they're just going to say, no, we're going to ride out the Pharah Storm. At some point, you got to put some bodies over here. We're not going to let the Pharah do it all alone. So second win, very likely to get first control here, barring some sort of crazy overextension by Goats. So in a sense, Goats is getting out-goated here. First control going to second win, but they lose Ezire from the back. And because Naga found the pickup, this could go quite poorly for second win. Going to be real hard to sustain without the Brigida.
Yeah, without the Brigida as well, it takes away from their opportunity to counter out an aggressive dive.
Well, Naga down early. The Pharah threat is down. Second win was able to reestablish early barrier, giving that extra little bit of durability. They hold on 23% to their name. And second win now in a much better spot.
This is where I think they're going to play a lot better too, when they can play into their team synergy that they have against Goats. I think this really does favor them. Earthshatter at the ready for Akawa. Not going to have much of an opportunity to find a position to kind of hide in, to be able to catch Nomi off guard, but still look for him to set this up, as Nomi's going to have to play very defensively here. Ezire looking for that opportunity to drop a big shield bash to align with this Earthshatter.
With the Bionade coming up early, second win give it a little bit of time. Bionade down, shield bash, Earth Shatter. Goodbye, good night. Power Brigida with the powered up Reinhardt right there. That master student power. As second wind is coming right back into this game, 65%.
No one saw that one coming. XD, second wind, classic combination with Shield Bash, Earth Shatter. Now they still have even more to bring to the table. This could very well be the last opportunity that Goats has to get back in here and fight it out, where Saucy is going to have this Graviton, look for it aggressively.
Looking for it, drops it, not Eden at all. 4 members all set up. The beat, though, gonna keep it. Oh, doesn't keep it away from that. Exploded, knocked into the air, and blown right up. Brutality from second win.
Here's Nomi coming through on the Hammond, though. Can he get onto the point? It's gonna be very tough as he gets Earth-Shattered.
Yep, they didn't want to play ball with Hammond there. I think that much was obvious. We're going to round 3, and you thought it was grindy, you thought it was dirty. Overwatch before, well, guess what? We're heading to the control center. It's about to get a whole lot scrappier.
Now my question is, Doomfist, May, are either of those two going to come onto the field, or are we just going to get straight up Goats v Goats? At the moment, it's looking like it could be Ana versus Ana, and that seems to be the case. So it is just going to be, you're talking about scrappy. I mean, this is pretty much scrappy as it gets between these two teams that are looking to out-sustain each other and duke each other out in terms of these Anas and this race that comes from the Biotic as well.
Look, Goats is on the verge of elimination here, so you know what? You might as well go out with Goats. As Goats versus Goats. That is the world we live in.
Getting too
that is what we are watching. And early Bionade from Wavy. Only going to get on the Kawa. Kawa able to back out. Will get healed back up. Got a little bit dicey for a moment. Both teams trading back and forth. But point positioning advantage. 2-second win here early on.
Oh, there's a
shatter already. Oh, man. 2 down off at Akawa. Coming in big.
That's a good start for second win. Looking to try to control this here. Again, Goats v Goats versus Goats playing Goats. And I do think that honestly, this is a situation where they need to really press their momentum, press the advantage that they've created for themselves, play into Saucy, having this ridiculously high charge versus Boostio, who's been able to garner some himself, but really play into this if you can.
Hui just fed a full graviton over the Saucy. He went on over and not great. Ooh. All right, so we have a pause here because Nomi is lagging, and it's a very artful shot, at least from my perspective. I'm looking at Saucy, but you see Nomi just got the nano boost, charging on in, but he's lagging, but he's nano boosted Rhine, so there is a world where you just walk forward, continue swing the hammer, you know, go for the earth shower, man, that'd be neat. Earth shatter when you get the opportunity.
When I'm looking at this next fight, it looks like Nomi is actually good, so we should be good to start this back up. And this is going to be a cluster to start things off, as Nomi's already right into the the mix with that nano boost, like you were talking about. A lot of things at the disposal of Second Wind, actually on both sides, that they're just going to brawl. As soon as this timer goes down, expect to kill very quickly.
I think Saucy's going to grab. He doesn't have to worry. Yep, immediately grabs. Didn't have to worry about anything getting eaten because Hui was at the mech. Counter grab goes in, but it's too late. You've already lost far too much to make the most out of it. Second Wind gonna win this ultimate showdown in spades.
And that is a crucial moment, I think, for Goats and Second Wind in this matchup, to go grab like that and have that late one come out from Boostio. He's gonna have to try to keep pace with Saucy here, but they're already down 40%. Not having that available to them is going to be huge.
Second Wind holding strong. Nano boost up here on Akawa. Earth Shatter up, Earth Shatter down. Sends D.Va right to the floor. And Second Wind, who gotta take Nomi on a ride, doesn't even give the courtesy of getting him against the wall, just dies mid-charge. Landed big Bionade, but no one there to hand it right after.
Well, Saucy ahead right now. Boostio should catch up pretty soon, as he still has that high charge, but because of the fact that he's ahead already, he can just drop it aggressively right into this, and he already does.
Grab, fall through there. Akawa, purple, doesn't have any healing available, but gets brought up just in time after Nomi falls. And Goats, playing Goats down to their final attempt here versus Goats. Gotta land a big Earth Shatter here from Nomi. It is the way.
Oh, Graviton available as well, but you can't use everything or you won't win the next fight.
Nano boost in, Nomi looking for the Shatter to pick off from Hui. And now for Goats, they get to save. They get to move forward. The last gasp here for the Barnyard Animals themselves. Gonna roll right back over to the point. And they will get control here in all likelihood, but it's still a long mountain to climb.
Good news, silver lining, they didn't use everything. They didn't. They only had to use 3 there. So Goats has the ability to prep themselves, start playing into that economy, really try to be as efficient as possible, not utilizing anything that they do not have to. In the meantime, you're going to see Second Wind building everything that they can and have that all available for one cohesive push.
Goats being highly aggressive. Nomi drops a hammer, knocks down Saucy, but the barriers are not going to get anything. Gets sent on a ride instead. Both teams dropping the beat. It's Goats a little bit later, so a slight edge. Graviton used from Saucy, doesn't get anything, so that's wasted. But you see Akawa. Earth Shatter ready. Nomi in danger. If he gets Shield Bash shattered down! Ana in trouble, and Akawa doesn't quite land the pin. Ends up, both Reinhardts, I'm not sure what they're doing. They're way out of the fight.
On guard.
Second Wind, though, in a bit of trouble. They still lost one. Akawa moving forward. Nomi isolated and down. A fight the Goats cannot lose or they're out of it. Naga slammed to the side. And Second Wind, who keeps it alive. Got both supports. Both supports that exactly.
We're going to see them come through with the grab as well. And ZP, honestly, Boostio needed to get a little bit more lethality through that, and they're not going to find it. Self-destruct on the other side, though.
Not in the least, Nomi in trouble, no more support. Goes for the last second pin on Akawa, gets it, still alive. Ana got there just in time, but Second Wind still strong here on the point. Nomi drops the Shatter, could be his last of the tournament. Gets stunned, focused, fired back, not gonna get much of anything. Late charge, desperation, nano boost keeps him alive, swings the hammer, finds Ezire. We're not done yet. Goats still alive, trying to fight back here on Lijiang.
You wanted a scrappy affair. This is as scrappy as it possibly gets. Boostio coming in on the Doomfist to make it even more so.
Back and forth. Hammer by Kawa. Both Reinhardts slam into each other. Both knocked on the floor. Nano boost down. Everyone's still up here for Second Wind. Nomi desperately trying to get to a Shatter. beat, dropped from the offensive second win. Nomi though has a shatter. Up we go, down we go. Can't hit the ground in time. The shatter is wasted. It's over. Second win, moving forward. Victory. Graviton out from Saucy. It's just an Ana, but she is retired. Team kill. Overtime done. Boostio not gonna be able to get back there in time. The GOATs are finished. Second win moves on.
And just a real quick, just a tiny little drop in real quick. Who shut down that Earth Shatter? eSire shut down that Earth Shatter. So big clutch plays as well. Just to drop that in real quick at the end. But honestly, that was an outright battle. GOATs so close to be able to win that, just not able to close things out. Second win hanging on just long enough to make it work.
That was certainly back and forth, but the GOATs will not be repeating a crazy run. This time, of course, it is essentially a different team. Second Wind proving to be strong here so far. And now, speaking of things that are second, or at least relating to the numeral 2, Second Wind gets to go up against Phase 2 in the next round.
2 versus 2, second versus 2. Yeah, so we got a cool matchup coming for sure. And don't forget about that upper final as well. Last night's Leftovers versus Toronto eSports. We've been kind of lying in wait, ready to take that on. And I'm excited to jump into that one for sure going forward.
Yeah, the battle of duality. Why not? Of course, we have some replays here. That is the man himself, eSire, with some very good blades here, where I'd say today, on the whole, definitely a better day for him than what we saw yesterday. And gonna need to keep that up, though, as you go up against a team like Phase 2.
Yeah, you have to be consistent, especially with how good the synergy behind Phase 2 is actually looking right now. Again, that connection that they have between their 3 core members, or 3 of their 4 core members, Wub, Sinker, and of course Duplicate, really connecting well as a trio with the way things are going, and Kevin operating in a truly flex capacity by playing that diva as more of a supportive role, really looking to try to mitigate pressure rather than set things up, and allowing himself to be catered to a little bit in some degree as well by being enabled by some of the other heroes that allow him to land some of those big self-destructs that we've seen from a lot of other divas as well in this tournament.
Certainly big plays all around. But guys, we are on a casting marathon here, and we do need time to catch our breath. When we come back, not only the next match of the lower bracket, but sponsor sellouts as well. And we know what everyone is truly here for. So guys, we'll be right back. Upper bracket is next. Sorry, I stand corrected. But upper bracket coming up next.